Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 season finale episode titled Aruba. If you don't want anything spoiled or ruined for you, stop watching now. Hey guys, Dave here, and normally I give myself time to decompress. I try to gather my thoughts, and when I do a review, I go over pretty much the entire episode and try to say the parts I like and whatnot. I feel like I have to do something a little different with this one. See, in around the middle of season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, it just kind of lost interest to me for wanting to do reviews in it. It felt like it was trying to push the boundary just to do so, and it was still a show I like to watch, but I lost interest in even talking about it. But tonight, with everything it built up, with Doom World happening, with the team breaking the cardinal rule of time travel to go back in time to interact with themselves in order to fix it, there was a lot of push there to see what happens, and I thought that those parts actually were pretty interesting. The team interacting with one another, thinking that the future aberrations were actually members of the Legion of Doom, and the fighting tends to happen as superheroes want to do. And eventually, then when they started to get their stuff together, and even tried to take off with a spear, both teams being on the wave ride at the same time created not only just a time quake, but a time storm, knocking them out of time. So then we had a race of the Legion of Doom, including Future Thawne from the Doom World timeline, coming back with high firepower and eventually even an army of himself in order to take out the remaining legends. Now, it was gruesome seeing one by one certain members of the Legends team dying. I knew it was supposed to be happening, but it didn't really lessen the impact at all. Eventually, when it came down to time to use the spear, Sara did in fact use it, but she was scared to death that the darkness inside of her would overwhelm her. Maybe she'd just give in to her desires, and that put her on a scene with back in her home couch with her sister Laurel, alive and well, sharing wine, enjoying movie night. Now, anyone that watches my channel knows that I am a fan of Katie Cassidy, and I heard that she would be returning in the season finale of Legends. Effectively, Laurel being the little angel on Sara's shoulders, talking about that you don't have to be someone pure of heart to work it. Even the fact that everyone seems to agree that Laurel was the better sister. It just takes someone to be strong enough to do what was right. This season in Arrow, we've been looking at people feeling that they are just cursed and too horrible to do anything. And Sara, isn't she supposed to still be suffering from a bloodlust from the Lazarus pit? I haven't really seen any of that popping out all this season. That is kind of, at this point, it's an implied darkness, but it's not really done. Eventually she decides, no, I'm not going to bring Laurel back, no matter how much I want to. Okay. Personally, I feel like that line was written in there and she was kind of forced to say it. Of course, Mark Guggenheim is the executive producer on Legends as well, so you guys know how I feel about Googie. Eventually, Reverse Flash snatches the spear out of her hands. Looks like Sara actually depowered the spear with one wish that she had. And the Black Flash came and wiped a good old Reverse Flash out. So, once again, he fades into nothing. As being a time remnant, he is destined to die once again. So with that, the remaining Sara from the future, because all the other teammates were killed, fades away. And they end up putting Snart and Damien back in their proper timelines and wiping their memories so they can continue to go on to their eventual path. The thing is, when Damien was rubbing it in about her sister and the fact that he's still on a collision course to kill her, Sara said, "I'm okay with it." No! Ah, no. I have a problem with this. I call BS on this. I'm trying to be nice for my audience here. You guys know I can make the air blue. Anyway, all that arc, all that thing trying to get her sister back, having the power to do so, facing her own corruption, and suddenly she's okay with not bringing her dead sister back. Now, I know we're going to be getting Katie Cassidy back as Black Siren on Arrow next season, and I know for a fact there's going to be at least a couple of crossovers where they're going to be meeting. I look forward to that, but Mark Guggenheim earlier this season joked about a redemption arc for Damien Dark, possibly being able to put things right that he did wrong, which upset me because I thought, wait a minute, how the heck does this guy get a redemption arc and we can't get Laurel back? That upset me. Eventually, Rip Hunter decides that the team's good without him, takes the jump ship. But Amaya does not decide to return to Zambezi just yet. She's going to hang out with Nate, and they're going to see what they can make the most of it. So, I'm all for a couple being happy. Mick finally tries to get the ship to go to Aruba, which he's been joking about all the episode. But the time storm hits them again, knocks them out of time. They crash into a building in Los Angeles, 2017, where apparently the time storm created a lot of aberrations, particularly dinosaurs running around in LA. Now, it sets up an interesting cliffhanger for the beginning of next season. And there were some interesting stuff. The interaction was good. The comedy was good. And overall, it wasn't a bad episode, but in my personal opinion, season 2 just felt like a letdown after all the build-up and momentum that they had fighting Vandal Savage. We ended up seeing the wannabes and guys that were kicked around and defeated by other superheroes banding together and rewriting reality, but eventually failing as the main villains this season. And apparently everyone is scared to death of speedsters. Apparently they're just like the Supermen of this thing. No offense to Brandon Routh. I don't know. I may have to do an overall season review. But the last 10 minutes of the episode left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not happy with Laurel's appearance just being a little tap on the shoulder and just saying, just do the right thing. Don't worry about trying to bring me back. And Sara somehow, after facing the entire season of wanting to bring her sister back and somehow being okay with it because her sister said so, that felt like forced writing to me. It felt like they had to say it or they'll be fired. And with a smile on their face, too. This is my personal opinion, okay? If you guys have a different opinion, please go ahead. Make your voices heard. Say what you think. The Legends of Tomorrow has always been an experimental show. They push the boundaries of imagination and bend continuity like no other show. But if there's dinosaurs in LA, when are we going to hear about this on The Flash or Arrow? When are those time quakes going to be catching up with the other shows? When are they going to have a ripple effect that affects the other shows in the DC TV universe? Will it at all? I mean, a little pocket reality that happened with Doomworld, for an episode, sure, I can accept that. But this looks like it's supposed to have long-lasting effects, and we have no idea who the bad guy's supposed to be for Season 3. Who's going to be joining the team? Who's going to be leaving? It's just... I still want to watch Legends of Tomorrow. And I still want to check that out more than I ever wanted to check out Powerless or Gotham. It's just... I feel like it tried, but it's like throwing ideas put up on a dartboard and throwing darts at it. It felt like this is where the darts landed. It felt like it was trying to be cohesive, but it feels like a jumble. It's like even the creators of the show don't know what they're doing anymore, and they're just doing anything to keep ratings up. And quite frankly, in my opinion, for a show that started out as bold as it was, and introducing it to someone as bold as Vandal Savage as a villain, it just feels like it doesn't know what to do with itself, so it's confused as hell. I may do a season review of Legends, and I might even do a roast of this episode, but I gotta get my thoughts together first. Overall, it was an alright season finale, but there are some key elements in there that don't sit well with me, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Katie Lotz is amazing. The cast and crew are awesome. The bad guys do play good bad guys, but I'm sorry. The choices that were made and the cliffhanger that shows that they don't know what the hell they're doing just doesn't sit well with me. I feel like it overall could have been a better episode. It could have been something better to end the shows on, and this might be why it was the only show that was still going this season until before the return and the other shows in April. They just didn't know what to do with it, so they ended it early. I think that the show has potential to do better. And I think that the guys are just dropping the ball that are writing it. I'm sorry. This could have been better. What do you think? Please like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, Dave signing off. Peace.